Let's have a very interesting conversation regarding this. This is Sasattavada. Then there's Uchedavada. There are two. Sasattavada is when a person can see himself being in different planes of existence for eons and eons and eons, and then he gets to see there is no way that the consciousness extinguishes. And the Uchedavada is when somebody cannot see their past life, even one. So on one side, a person feels that it's infinite. It's finite is the end. Infinite is endless. So tat jivam tat shariram anyam jivam anyam shariram sasattava loko asasattava loko antava loko anantava loko. So he gets into this view because of that the consciousness stays firm, cannot be shaken, like a mountain. It just stays, doesn't go anywhere. It can see everything arising and passing away in that, but it itself doesn't exist. Doesn't perish. Like for those people, yesterday I was having an interesting conversation with Merin and Bobby and Janak. So Bobby was saying that consciousness arises and passes away. So I was asking him, then there can't be anything called as in witness conscious, right? There's something should be witnessing. That means that consciousness is there, right? See, from the birth till now, you have witnessed. You have witnessed your school going, you have witnessed teenager, you have witnessed you getting married or getting a job, getting married. You have got everything. Okay, in this life, every one of us know that we had a childhood, we know we had a teenage life, we know we had an adult life, and like that. But you're the witness. If somebody gets into the misconception that there's neither a witness, it becomes Uchedavada. Because there's nothing to witness. It arises, passes away, and that's it, over. After this life, there's no new life. Why? Because he just sees arising and passing away, nothing else. That's one extreme. The second extreme, it always exists. Got the point? So Sasattavada is a mental state when you can not only watch your childhood, like if you want, we can go to the childhood days, who is going. The consciousness is able to go there. It's able to go there. Like, forget about childhood. Aryu, myself, Shreyas and Sachin, we met in Bangalore. If I were to say we met in Bangalore and we stayed at so and so place, will you say it arose and passed away? No, you are able to go back. You are able to go back. That's the truth. If it passed away, you cannot go back. You are a dementia patient. I mean, you can't remember anything now. So the consciousness knows it. Vijnana is something that knows. That's the reason in the Mahavedala Sutta, Sariputta explains, Vijanati Vijanati iti Vijnana. It knows. Kim Vijanati? Sukham tipi Vijanati. Dukkham tipi Vijanati. Adukha Sukham pi Vijanati. That means it can recollect back. It can know that I was in this place and I was happy. I was in so and so place, I was unhappy. I was in so and so place, I was neither happy nor unhappy. So, eternalism, there's nothing to be hated about. Okay? There's nothing to be hating about. It's about knowing it. Why somebody gets into this conception that there is eternalistic way of seeing, because he can see all his past lives. And then it is endless, ananta. See, in my case, I've seen only one past life, to be honest, and other one little bit. But in that case, in what Buddha is saying there, can see countless, not one and two, countless. So if somebody were to ask me a question, Vilas, what were you doing in this life? I can narrate. I know what I was doing. That means I existed then. Then if I say it arose and went away, then who existed then? I don't know. That is wrong. So I existed then is true. And I existed in Tibet is also true. Little bit I have seen, but it's true. I existed in Tibet. And I was following Vajrayana. That's true. So now how can I make it false? There's no way I can make it false because it's true to me. Somebody agrees, believes, doesn't believe, it's not my problem. But I can see a partial of my life and almost till I was 70, 60 or whatever that age is of that life. So if a opportunity comes for me to reflect back to that life, I can go back to that life. Like now, if I bring my attention to that place in Ujjain, in Madhya Pradesh, where I was born, I can go to that life. I can do it. And I know my teacher. So isn't it amazing? Yes, it's just one life. You just see a person who can see countless lives. Now, what is his state of mind? If just by seeing one life I feel overwhelmed, I feel happy, what about the person who is seeing so many lives? So many lives. What's the state? So he says here, Ida bhante ekecho samano vo brahmano va atapa manvaya. They have removed all of that. Tata rupam cheto samadhim pusati yatha samahite chitte aneka vihitam puppe nivasam anusarati seyatidam ekampi jatim dvepi jatiyo tissopi jatiyo chatassopi jatiyo panchapi jatiyo dasapi jatiyo visampapi jatiyo tisampapi jatiyo chatari sampi jatiyo panya sampi jatiyo jati satampi jati sahasampi jati sahasasampi anekampi jati satani anekanipi jati sahasani anekanipi jati sahasani amutrasim evam namo evam gotto evam vanno evam haro evam sukha dukkha pati samvedi evamaya. That means he can see thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of lives. Not one. Namo Buddhaya. He can see as many lives as he wants. He can see. And continuously he can see. Just goes into the jhana and then he can see, this was my life. 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 Like that. Now, wouldn't that person, out of his own experience, is able to see he existed in all of these lives? If somebody were to come and tell him that the consciousness gets extinguished, he will laugh at it. Reason being, he is experiencing himself in all the lives. So, yesterday I was explaining to Bobby, there are 4 Nama Rupas, which we have done earlier also, if you remember, along with Sachin. But it's a good thing to take it now. The first Nama Rupa is what you are named now. Okay? Like Shreyas, like Bobby, like that. Or like Aryu. So you believe you are Aryu. You believe you are Shreyas. You believe you are so and so. I believe I am Vilas. It's the first level of Nama Rupa, on which I am standing now. So anything that happens to Vilas hurts me. Any bad thing happening to Vilas. And any good thing happening to Vilas makes me happy. Let's say I get a US visa. To whom is it given? To Vilas. Obviously, who else? So I'm going next month. So who gets the visa? The consciousness doesn't get visa. It's Vilas who is getting the visa. So I stand in the line, go for my biometrics one time, for the visa interview another time. And in the US visa interview, they ask me why you are going there. They don't say which consciousness is going there. They ask me, Vilas, are you going to US? And I say, yes. Have you made your plans? I say, yes. How many weeks? Maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, can you show me invitation? Here it is. I'm giving a paper. There's no invitation there. But that officer believes himself to be that officer. He is a US national. He believes it to be so. Yes, he believes. He believes I'm an alien. That's his belief. So I am going on pleasure to America. So he gives me a visa for 10 years. Multiple entries say that, okay, have a good time in US. Okay. So whom did he give the visa? To the first Nama Rupa, which is Vilas. Now if second Nama Rupa is asked, who is Vilas? Now you have problem. Vilas is a friend. Vilas is a teacher. Vilas is a father. Vilas is also a son. Okay. Vilas is also a husband. Vilas is an Indian national. Vilas has neighbors. Now, which one are you talking? Which Vilas are you talking about? Oh my God, this is another Nama Rupa. Then I am seeing, I am hearing, I am tasting, I am touching, I am smelling, I am thinking is the third kind of Nama Rupa. So can you not reflect, or can I not reflect my school days as Vilas? Absolutely yes. Beyond doubt. If somebody asks me, which school were you studying and where were you studying? Can I not go back? Can I say that, I don't know, the consciousness appeared and disappeared? I can go back. Let's say my friend comes and he says, hey Vilas, how are you? And I say, very good. You remember me? Yeah, I say, very much, I remember you. You remember we both were in the same class and we were sitting on in this bench or in this seat. We were together. You remember your mother came one day and she was giving food and you were crying. Which day? You remember that one train came? Ah, that one. How? How did it happen? So, consciousness can go back. That's the first. It goes back to the Nama Rupa. So, what Buddha says is Nama Rupa Samudaya, Vijnana Samudaya. Nama Rupa Nirodho, Vijnana Nirodho. So, as long as there is Nama Rupa as a food, so Vijnana Ahara, Nama Rupa. So, as long as you give food to the consciousness, it goes back or forth or whatever it can do, because it can reflect. Consciousness property is to reflect. It just reflects. Then the consciousness is going back. Chitta is going back. Saying, yes. We had a good time, right? You remember we were eating a lot of gooseberries. That one, yeah, we used to climb tree and take out the gooseberries. You remember we were playing one day and you fell down. Oh yes, that was really horrible. So Vilas as a Nama Rupa, the consciousness bites onto it. So isn't it eternal for me? Whenever I want, can I not go there? Like, Ariu, if you were to ask me, have you seen Las Vegas? I would say yes. I've been to Las Vegas. And if somebody were to ask me, MGM Grand is there or not? Is there? I can't say just came in consciousness and it left. No. Today also, if I book my flight ticket, I can go there. I can go to Las Vegas. And I can stay in the same hotel room, which was booked in 2010. I was staying in room number 405. I can go back to 405. Yes, Ari.
Yeah, I mean, in this example, like for another analogy, there's cloud drive, right? There's cloud drive. So these Namarupa are all in this cloud drive, stored there. Cloud drive, like Google,
got it.
Google Drive, right? So I can access them from this computer.
Yes.
But after throwing away this computer, I get a new computer. Still, I have access to them.
Yes.
Right? So I could say this computer has arisen and passed away, but since I always have access to these files, it feels never ceasing.
Exactly. That's true. So just like a good example what you gave is that you have the cloud drive and you're putting everything on the cloud drive, nothing on the hard disk. Right? So this computer crashes. You buy a new one. That's a new jati from cloud drive. That's correct. Okay. So if that is true, yes, sir. Yes, Bante.
So how you see cloud drive as like in Buddhist terminology, how you define it as?
Cloud drive is something where in the Buddha terminology, in the Buddha says that it's Namagotta. Have you heard about that term?
Namagotta. No, I have heard about the Gotra Chitta, but not about Namagotta.
Namagotta is there. Namagotta is something like you have a fair idea of what it is, but when the situation presents itself, you can remember, you can access it. Just like Bante, before you were Bante, you were lay follower, right? Or you were a normal person. And during your childhood, you would have some friends. So how do you access them? And in the Buddha words, it is Namagotta.
Like in 5 khandas, where we can look at it?
See, the first thing is that we need to understand what is this 5 khanda thing. So I think I have to restart from the beginning. Now, a normal Puggala, why is called Puggala is because he is ignorant of how things come into place. He believes himself as the body, or himself as a mind, or himself as a combination of body and mind. Okay. So what Buddha did is to explain what is a person? So when a person comes as a stream winner, it means that this person can understand that this is Rupa, form. It's got nothing to do with the other four. But as soon as there is a Rupa, there is a feeling. So it changes as per whatever the form is. Okay, so there's a feeling, then there's a perception, then there is a preparation, then there is a conscious experience. So what Buddha did is that if I say Vilas and I know I'm Vilas, it means I am a Puttujana. So to get out of that Sakkaya Ditti, okay, that is the self view, I am this, that view. Either I will say I am in this, I am in that, like that. So to let go of it, you come up with an understanding that whatever I am calling I am Vilas is nothing but these khandas, 5 khandas. Namagutta has got nothing to do with khanda. Namagutta is part of the Nama and Rupa itself. So if you were to ask me where it would be in the conscious experience, which is called as Namarupa or Namarupa Samudaya, Vijnana Samudaya. So as long as there is Namarupa, there is Vijnana. So what does Vijnana do? It establishes. So in the Upaya Sutta, Buddha explains, and this is in Sanyukta Nikaya, so he explains that the Vijnana itself hold on to the body, Vijnana itself will hold on to the feeling, Vijnana itself will hold on to the perception, like that, and it holds on to itself, which is Vijnana itself. Okay, so as long as somebody doesn't let go of that, it keeps on increasing, diminishing, and going away. Okay, so if you are asking me where these memories are stored, they are stored in Vijnana, which is the cloud drive, if you were to ask me, because that every Namarupa, what is there, is an experience by itself which is seen by that consciousness. So there is nothing called as I in exact sense. That is what Sasattavada says, that there is I in exact sense, meaning that consciousness will never get extinguished. It always knows. Because one of the key element of consciousness is to know. It knows. You don't have to teach it. It knows. When I say I'm learning, it already knows. There is nothing more to learn. Okay. So it's Vijanati. It knows it. So yes, go ahead.
Should we consider it like as Alay Vinyan?
Alive?
Alay Vinyan, like Mahayana concept, na? Alay Vinyan.
I don't know about Mahayana, because Mahayana uses so many different ways of explanation. Basically, if you have seen in Mahavedala Sutta, it becomes very clear to you that there are 3 things which has to be there. One, it should have Ayu, that's the lifespan. Usma, which is another words prana or life faculty, and Vijnana, which is consciousness, which is nothing but chitta. So if you say conception, Gandhabba or Vijnana, is that it should have everything in that, meaning the Kamma dictates the lifespan, the Utu dictates where and how this being is going to be, which is Usma. Then the Chitta is the one Vijnana is all about, because it takes 9 stages to become Vijnana. So the Ahara is what it is searching for. So like in the Puttamamsa Sutta, Buddha explaining that Kabalinka Ahara, that is the solid food. Then you have Phassa Ahara, which is the contact, which means that feeling, perception, and Sankhara, which is preparation, are happening due to that Ahara. Mano Sanchetana Ahara is the one when you have an intention, I need to do this, I need to do that. And the 4th Ahara, which is Vijnana Ahara, which is what we are interested in this. So Sasattavada happens when somebody says, I'm able to see all the past life. In the same way, you can see your childhood, you can see whatever you want right now as we speak. We can go back and forth, because the consciousness can go back. It knows how to do it. So where it is stored then, if we were to ask where it is stored, how I'm able to go back to my childhood, because this body is not any longer a childhood body. This hardware has changed, but isn't it that I can go back to my school days wearing the same shirt, a small pant, or even a underwear for that matter? And then if I say my father gave me a chocolate, if I take that as a thing during my childhood, when I was 3 year old, for the very first time I ate chocolate from my father. I can see my father as he was when I was 3 year old. I can see the body as it was when I was 3 year old. That is coming from Namagutta. Because this body right now is not of a 3 year old. And my father has passed away 14 years back. But yet, can I not see my father? I can. That's Namagutta. That is from where you are accessing it. So that's in the cloud drive right now. Because this body is not there to access it. That body is different. This body is different. They both are not the same. So basically, what are we doing then? You're accessing from the cloud drive, which very nicely put by Ariu. So that in Pali is Namagutta. Yes, Ariu.
Yeah. And I guess to access, it requires
Your
this
password.
faculty. This you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it requires the faculty of this mind, right? So when you say someone has dementia, this mind faculty has deteriorated, hence the retrieval of the
No.
cloud drive.
Mind faculty is not deteriorated. The brain cannot access it. The mind knows it, but the brain cannot access it. Meaning, this hardware has a problem. It's majorly a hardware problem, nothing to do with the software.
Oh, okay.
Because the cells are dying in the brain. See, a dementia patient is one whose cells are not there, meaning as many cells as they require, they are not there. That doesn't mean that he cannot recollect, but the recollection should have some hardware also. So the problem is with the hardware, not with the software. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think earlier book I read to say the mind is like a modem. It's a very appropriate way to, it decodes whatever information, but if the modem's having problem, then it cannot access.
Yeah. If the hardware has a problem, like you take this router, it can route information. So let's say one node is faulty. Information is coming, but nothing can be there. You take another example. Take a FM station. That's the Namagutta. Take a radio. A radio has a problem. So can you now say that FM station itself has a problem? No. You have a radio that is having a problem. So actually there were 10 channels. For some reason, 3 of the channels have stopped functioning. So no longer you're able to access those channels. Because that's hardware issue. If you were to change the hardware, can you not access it? Yeah. But the FM channel has been there. That's a Sattavada. Right? It's been there. You can go back and 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 watch. Presently, this hardware is not able to access that information. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I felt like FM is a great example because sometimes when you're tuning the FM, it goes.
Yes.
Sometimes get it, sometimes not get it. So sometimes the dementia patient will remember and then he forgets. like us. Sometimes we remember, sometimes we forget. Based on
Like one of my past life experience. I got it only on the plane, and that too in 1 hour. That whole story, as much as I saw it, it ended after I landed. Like the FM channel, I was tuned for some time and it stopped working. Now, till date, Aryu, I'm not able to go back from the beginning of the time of that life. Who were my parents in Tibet? What were they doing? Yes, Aryu.
So now instead of having access to the original file, now you have is like a copy of a vague copy of that file which you recently experienced.
I have downloaded it partially. That's the problem. It's just a partial thing. So I can go back and look at that. Okay, I was this. I was standing on a ridge. Okay, and there's one big monastery. Okay, I don't know where it is exactly, Shigatse or Shega, somewhere. I have a faint memory. It is Shigatse. Okay, where my this current friend, this Buddhist friend of mine in Ladakh, he says, "Let me get you some food." So I sit in the monastery, and we both are monks. We both are lama. He's elder to me by 5 years in that life, 4 or 5 years. Okay, so he goes. I tell him, let me also come with you. He says, no, 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 let me go and get food for you. You are not in a position to walk. So I sit. There's a huge Buddha statue. Okay, so I'm doing all that ritual thing. Then 1 hour passed, 2 hour passed, 3 hour passed, and the whole day passed. After that, nothing is there. So somebody came and gave me the food. I'm worried about my friend. And I come to know after a few months that while he went for food, he fell in a ditch and died because of the frost. So he skid or whatever happened to him and he fell down and died. The objective was that he and I will remain Lama forever. So when I landed back in Leh, I went and told him. I was thinking he will say, Vilas, I think your imagination has to be appreciated. Instead, you know what he said? I do know that I and you are together. That was his first word. I believe you what you say because even I feel so. And after in that incident, when we went to that monastery, a different monastery, not the monastery in Tibet, but this monastery in Ladakh, we went there. When he inquired to that another Lama, he's an old guy, old Lama, he was sitting there, he came and this friend of mine started saying him that he knows this person, is very interesting person to you, that he not only knows Buddhism or Buddha's teaching, he knows the Vajrayana way also. That really surprises me. Then he said, he's a Lama. I'm telling you, this person whom you brought, whom you're introducing me, is a Lama. So that made him believe even more because that last year this incident happened. And this year, a Lama explained to him that he is indeed a monk or indeed a Lama. So you should take him as a Lama only. So then I was telling him that you are also a Lama. He said, yes, I wanted to be a Lama because of my parent pressure. I could not do it in this life. You got the point. So only that much knowledge I have. I can go back as many number of times to that picture. So doesn't while I am gone there, right now I am speaking, can access that. I can see that. Isn't it Sasattavada? And the answer is yes. because I can see it all the time. I can go back. Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking sometimes when people recall old memories, right, they become vague. So instead of getting the real thing, there's imagination added to it, right? So in
Might
that
happen.
sense,
Might
there's
happen.
a distortion.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the
yes.
distortion start happens.
Data might get distorted, right?
Yeah,
There
and
is
now
a
he's looking at the distorted version. Now he
yes,
keep access to
absolutely.
that. He adds more and like that.
See, you will yourself come to know whether it is a hallucination or a vision. Nobody else can vouch it for you. Like here, somebody saying that I had so many lives, and some person say, "Come on, forget it. I think your imagination is too much." What he can do? Nothing he can do. But he knows what he has seen, correct? So, this first one, he says that the person says, Ati tampaham adhanam janami samvattati va loko vivattati va loko. Samvattana, going around. Vivattana, not going around. Vattam vattati. Vattam vattati is like a whirlpool, so it keeps on going around. So vivattana and samvattana. That means I'm not sure. I don't know. Is there a way it can come back? Meaning the vinyana, seeing, is so endless that I am not able to see an end to it. So I don't know, there's a vivatta there. It ends. So I can't say. He has put a wrong thing called as cosmos will expand or contract. It's not cosmos, it's loka. The world. As many worlds we have, 31 realms, let's say. Are they expanding? Are they samvattana? They're going around. Or vivattana? They end. See, take this as an example. 31st realm. Neva sanyana sanyayatana. It's endless. You are there. You exist in that plane. Eons and eons and eons and eons and eons and eons. Higher than the Brahma realm. So, what do you have to say? If somebody says there is no soul, there is nobody there, it would be wrong. Because you are there. If I'm saying I'm anagami, that means I am going to land as an anagami or something else will land there. No, I'm going to land there as anagami. So what is this fourth one? Fourth one is the vijnana itself, which should get extinguished. So we can do the three as a sekha. The fourth one can only happen as an arhat, not below that. So the first one, vilas, goes away at sotapanna. Second, relating to the roles, that also goes at sotapanna. The third one, a portion of it, goes at sakadagami. And the third completely goes away at anagami. And the fourth one, the entire ending of Namarupa, happens at Arhat. So, Vinyanam, Anidasanam, Anantam, Sappatopapam. What it has done? It has held. Yatta patavi cha apo cha tejo cha vayo na gadati. Instead of na gadati, it has become gadati. Yatta dhigancha rasancha anuthula shubha ashubham. Yatta namancha rupancha asesam uparujjati. throws away, it has not done uparujjati. Samyujjati, it has taken it. Vijnana doesn't get nirodha. Vijnanasya nirodhena, there is no nirodha of the vijnana. If vijnana is not in nirodha, then the dukkha can never be extinguished. Yes, you'll be reborn in a heavenly realm. Correct. You'll be born in a Deva realm, Brahma realm, any realm. But it is the one which is getting established. Vijnana is the one which is getting established, not otherwise. So the Sasattavada will come into existence. Yes, sir. You.
So, are you saying in the case of anagami, there's no such thing as I am seeing, I am hearing, yet the namarupa still get picked up?
That
as
one, that Namarupa which started, that
the fourth
Gandhabba,
one.
that Gandhabba one will be there. So that will get extinguished from there only. So it doesn't come back to the womb existence again. But that doesn't mean that it's gone. No, it exists.
So, so that fourth one, only Buddha can end it before the physical death happens.
No, Arhats can do it. Buddha
Okay.
can do it, but not the Sekha. Sekha as in Anagami, Sakadagami, Sotapan.
Yeah, but you were saying Buddha is able to do more than Arhat can do, right? He
That
can.
is what he's saying, he's putting there, because in the past, all the people, including Alara Kalama and Uddakarama Putta, they are able to see their existence till the 31st realm. Uddakarama Putta has seen 31st realm, and he was very happy with Gautama for achieving that. Yes, Bante, go ahead.
Can you please put some more light on Gandhabba? Like as what,
It's
how
a-
you see,
It's a
how you define
huge
it?
topic. I've already done it. There's a video on that, because then you have to go through the Mahan Nidana Sutta, and there are many other suttas where Buddha explains what is Gandhabba, how it appears, how it arises, what happens, and all of that. So we had a long session relating to Gandhabba. If I were to take this up, it will be not only a diversion, but then it becomes a problem also.
Can you please share that link again
Yes, I will do
for
that.
me?
Yes,
Thank you so much.
I'll do that. So you already did, are you?
Yeah, I share one in the group, Abante. You can check it out.
Thank you so much, Aryu.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so if somebody says that there is no past life, he's wrong. If somebody says that can I not see my endless lives, yes, he can see. And hence he gets into the view about a term called as Atma. But that's the one which is seeing everything. So whatever Atma is being spoken is nothing but Namarupa, which is something cannot be understood. So they get into the view of Sasatta, Sasattva. Sattva in Pali is Sattva. Sattva means essence. So this consciousness has an essence. So it takes it. So there is Atma. Got the point? So it stays, everything passes away. Everything arises, everything passes away. Agreed. But you are still there to witness it. And that witness consciousness what we call as a witness consciousness is still a consciousness, right? It's dependent on Nama Rupa. So Buddha says even that is anicca. And that is where the fight is between Buddha and others. Because if you take one-on-one, the other sages can see their past life. And so the Buddha. So what's the difference? The Samma Sambuddha can see all the past lives, including the multiple eons and when it started. That means he knows it can be extinguished also. So it's like asking, when did the first fire started? So he knows how the fire started. That fire will have to be extinguished, right? Otherwise, it will be keeping on going to this field, that field, that field, that field, that field, like that. So to cut the consciousness, hold on for a second, Aryu. To first cut the consciousness, you have to cut the ayatana. You shouldn't give fuel. So first cut eye. So eye consciousness done. Cut the ear. Ear consciousness is done. Cut the nose. Nose consciousness is done. Cut the tongue. Tongue consciousness is done. Cut the mind. Mind consciousness is done. So Chakku, Sota, Ghana, Jivha, Kaya, Mano. That's the reason when Mara comes and asks the Buddha, he says, where will you run away, dear sage? You are in my fold. Because the Vijnana is always there. So what Buddha did is to do the Indriya Samvara. He cut out going around eating things. So the consciousness doesn't have a fuel. Consciousness without a fuel cannot survive. So the consciousness get extinguished. So who is the fuel? I is the fuel. And that's why we are here. So the Sasattavada is I. Yes, go ahead.
So you were saying Buddha was able to see how the fire started, right? That's what you said. But why does he use the term like a beginningless? Let's say he's a beginningless type.
Beginningless because you can't, except for Buddha, nobody can see the beginning. So it's always beginningless.
So he was just saying it because we cannot see it.
Nobody
Better
can
for
see
him to
except
say.
for Samma Sambuddha. Not even an Arhat can see it. Forget about anybody else.
Yep. Pacheka Buddha is same, I can see.
Leave the Pacheka Buddha aside. Except for no Arhat can see it. They can only end the defilements. Yes.
Another question. I think maybe yesterday or the day before you were saying some difference between a Buddha and Arhat. That the Buddha can cut something before the life ends. Is it Vijnana that you said? But the Arhat has to wait until Parinibbana.
Jivitindriya. He will give the Jivitindriya. It is there in the Parinibbana Sutta.
I think Ayu Sankara, you want to say?
Yeah, you can call it as Ayu Sankhara.
And in addition to like Aryu's question, like there's a mention in Milin Panha that why there is why we are saying there is a beginningless. It is answered in Milin Panha. If you'll
Also.
see, there is
Yes, it's there.
there are two separate mentions out there. First of all, why it is can't be mentioned that where is from start, and the second is the things which are existing and it's going on. We can't tell about that how long it will be and what is the beginning. But once it will be stop arising, then it could be we could be tell about that how from where it start.
How it can stop.
That's it.
Yeah, that's that. Thank you, Bante. So the thing is like this, Aryu. If you want to know the beginning, that's what many of the Upanishads talks about. The beginning. They went in search of the beginning. And in fact, there's one sutta where one Brahmin goes to the Brahma realm and then he asks, when did it all start? And then he says, why did you take so much trouble? You could have asked the Buddha. He's there. So he comes back about the Loka, right? Why? Because he was able to use supernormal powers to go to the Keep on going and going and going and going and going, and he never found an end to it. So Buddha says, it's indeed difficult to find the beginning. However, you can find the end. So don't go towards understand the beginning. Go towards ending of the defilements. Rather than knowing that, how, tell me first, how did it start?
Yeah, same with his analogy on poison arrow and
Yes.
everything. He's just keep on pointing to where it's tenable, the problem, because
Right.
that's untenable.
Right.
No, but the question which was asked by him was so beautiful. So Buddha rectified the question. The question was wrong. He was asking him. Buddha
Right.
said you shouldn't ask like that where it going to dissolve. You should ask where it doesn't take place. Like how we call in Hindi.
Yeah, that's a
कहाँ ये समुदय को प्राप्त नहीं होते हैं.
Yeah, that's correct. So, Ariyu, in the same Vinyanam, Anidassanam, Anantam, Sabbatopada, in the same sutta it is there. What I recite all the time, in the same sutta, this question is asked. So, Buddha says, like what Bhante says, is that correct your question. Don't ask how Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo goes away. Because that's the beginning of time. When it got associated with me. See, when we talk loka, loka should have this Mahabhuta. Otherwise, there's no loka. So you got the point. Subtle, gross, still there Mahabhuta. Arupa jha, arupa means there's nothing like gross rupa, but nobody can say there is no rupa at all. There is rupa in subtle form. It doesn't hold you. It doesn't hold the consciousness. If I say I am on infinite space, that doesn't mean that you have got the rupa out. No. It's not gross any longer. So he asked this question and Buddha corrects it. Then he says, Vinyana, Manidasana, Manantam, Sabbatopavam, like that. When we see that Vinyanasa Nirodha, the Nirodha of the Vinyana happens, it doesn't come back to any realm of existence. This is the first type of wrong view. So we will end it here for today because the second one is even more deeper than this. I think tomorrow we'll have more detailed one. Even though it looks so easy, okay, contracted, expanded, blah blah. We spent almost 1 hour now only on first one. Vasasattavada. Any questions? All good? So he says here the second. The second one is he could see through his psychic power in the past there was Samvattana and Vivattana. But now if I see the end of this, it's Ananta. So I don't know whether it will expand or contract or Samvattana is there or Vivattana is there, I don't know. And because of that, I can't see it. It's stable. That stays. So if I become a Brahma, if I become a 31 realm of existence, everything comes and passes away, but I am there. That's the meaning of it. So, Ariyu, why are we doing the Arupa Jhana? So that you will establish in Arupa Jhana. If you are in Rupa Jhana, your stay is limited. because we are in Rupa at present, and we are in the grossest Rupa, which is we have this like stone body. It's actually body of stone. By the way, for all of you, there is a video on YouTube when some human beings, they have a very rare case where the body turns into stone. They can't bend. That means the lahuta, muduta, kammanyata is gone. Rupa has these three. Wieldness is required. It should be able to bend and all that. So that is lahuta, lightness. Kammanyata, you can do it the way you want it. So that's not there in the Rupa. So it becomes, a person cannot turn his head or he can't even walk. Somebody has to push him or take a cycle and take him or something like that. Why? Because it's become bony, like a stone. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think in some video they say if the water is the apple is taken out from the body, then the body will mummify, right? Become
Yes.
a mummies, right? It's
Yes,
just like
yes,
no.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's called as a rare disease. There are 800 people in the world right now with stone body. They can't even open their mouth like this. It's
Yeah,
stuck.
I have know a person in China who's pretty famous. He's trying to fight it, but of course he's losing. And eventually the voice goes so sharp because it cannot open. And then eventually he's choking on his saliva and everything.
Correct, correct. Right. So actually we have come to the level of stone presently. Stone, right? What else you want a stone? We have got Rupa, which is stone. So in the explanation, if you go detail in the commentaries, then it says the if you take the 32 part of the body, you should see it in this way. You see it as teeth, bones, all that as stone. Sila in Pali. Sila. Yes. Stone. Then this clay. Okay, good day to everyone then.